Hello everyone, let's get started. The picture you've seen I have taken a few weeks back on a long walk with my dog. You can see basically down to the village where I live. It was on a Saturday morning, really nice weather, nice walk with my dog. Why am I doing this video today? Because it has been quite some time since my last video. I have been asked by one of my subscribers what happened to my videos, and I kind of promised to him to make a video on the weekend. The reason why I didn't do so many videos, or basically none in the past, was that basically I had said everything I wanted to say. My theory is the theory about the superhighway. Now, what I basically wanted to do in this video today, after that request from that subscriber who asked me to do more videos, is to just give my view about the current situation. Incidentally, I then yesterday came across something really interesting. That will be the main point I will be talking about in the video today, which is kind of the proof of my theory regarding the superhighway Ripple is or was maybe building. But let me give you a quick wrap up on the sentiment I felt in the last few months since my last video. As you all know, basically crypto market crashed starting, I don't know, middle of February. It kind of went down. And this was more or less also to be felt on Twitter, in the community, in the XRP community, quite a lot. I got the impression many people getting nervous. Lots of people started bashing around and fighting with each other about stupid stuff. I couldn't really explain it. And now, since we have been so low for, I don't know, maybe 2.5, 3 weeks, it seems to have found some ground, and I am feeling an uptrend in the overall sentiment in the market again, which I think is basically something we should value, and I'm sure that the last 3 months from 2018 will make every one of us pretty happy. I will not do price predictions. I'm not a financial advisor, as everyone in the US would say in his video. I'm just giving my opinions. My opinion is that we surely will reach $10 by the end of the year, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's way higher. Now back to the main content of the video today, of what I wanted to talk about. I am hoping that all of you followers have in the meantime seen my video on YouTube about the superhighway Ripple seemed to be building. And in the past few weeks, other people kind of did their own research and were kind of backing up what I have been proposing for months now already. There were people talking about SAP, a huge company in the ERP, enterprise resource planning, software business. They have, I think 400,000 customers worldwide. One guy picked up strongly on the Temenos topic, which I also have been covering in my earlier video and the PDF. And then there were a few other new gateway providers being mentioned in the Ripple and XRP ecosystem, so to speak. I have been heavily engaged in a few Twitter discussions lately, and some people proposed that same basically as I am proposing or assuming, that Ripple surely doesn't only have the 100 publicly announced customers or clients, but it may well be hundreds or maybe even thousands. And in that discussion I put the link to my PDF where I have put my research I did, and there was a response from a guy, and another guy responded to him, yes, it's the same. And then I went looking on the profile from that other person, and I basically found that very same picture you're seeing right now. And I asked him, where did you find that? Because I so far only found one source where I could find that chart you're seeing displayed now. And he basically told me he found it on a slide deck on SlideShare. And so I went digging a little bit deeper, and interestingly enough, I found a slide deck called Ripple Labs Values, Purpose and Strategy 2014. And within that slide deck we basically find the proof for my theory. And before I dig into that, I want to do a quick step back and explain to people who may not be so familiar about how a company usually works. A serious company usually has a mission or vision and a strategy, and underneath the actual operations, how they try to pursue the strategy and the mission. The mission is usually kind of the overall thing, like we wanna be the best provider in area XYZ. That's usually the mission. Usually doesn't change for a company. That's really the core focus. I don't know about the mission of Ripple. That's just a presumption from mine. I would assume that their mission is we want to be the core competence provider for the Internet of Value. That would be something like I would write into my mission statement if I were Ripple. Now the strategy can change over time. Usually, as long as you're being successful in your operations, the strategy as well isn't touched, is maybe fine-tuned. And I have been, maybe not on my videos, but to friends and to people I'm talking with over Twitter and in comments on my videos, I have always been stating, it was just the kind of gut feeling I had that the strategy of Ripple is one of the best strategies I have seen worldwide so far. Just a little small example which totally fits into that picture. As you all are aware of, that up until the end of March we heard like weekly or bi-weekly announcement of new clients, new banks being signed as customers from Ripple, and all of a sudden, break, no more news. And I'm pretty sure Ripple realized that they had to do something to kind of soothe the nerves of the kind of anxious to know XRP community. And up they brought the Ripple drop. And since then we had like, I don't know, every 3-4 weeks a Ripple drop episode, just to get at least something from Ripple, even if it wasn't about new announcements of new clients and customers, but at least we had to talk about something coming out of Ripple themselves. That's just a really small thing which totally makes sense to me, that they realize this, that they have to give more food to the community, and that's the moment when this Ripple drop kind of was born. That's just a side note on that. Now coming back to the strategy from Ripple. In this slide deck, as you can see, it has 32 slides. I will only show a few of them, the ones which are basically backing or proving my theory. The first one is that they basically identified the problem in the area where they're trying to be experts in pretty good. Now, the solution to that problem is like a layered approach. And to that I also want to make a side note, because it's very important to understand this layered approach. I'm an IT person, and if you go to school and learn stuff about IT, one of the first things they teach you is the Aussie model, I think it's called. Aussie model, yes. It has 7 layers, and basically you can imagine each layer kind of offers an encapsulated service to the layer on top. So the layer on top doesn't need to know how the layer beneath delivers the result. It just kind of receives the result, but how this result is basically produced is not interesting anymore. Let's say a web developer, he creates a web page, he puts it on his web server, but yes, he must have literally no idea how TCP/IP, this really low-level stuff works, because that's stuff handled in these lower levels of this 7-level Aussie model. And in this same model way, Ripple basically sees themselves. They, as you can see, Ripple Labs on the lowest level, they see themselves, and basically Brad Garlinghouse mentioned that in almost every video I've seen from him. The Ripple sees themselves as fixing the plumbing, really the low level in this financial infrastructure. And as you can see here, they're actually even underneath these gateways, and these gateways are kind of like connectors which connect the banks one with each other. And on top we then have apps on our iPhones, on our other smartphone devices, which are actually using technology behind, connecting through those gateways, built on top of the services Ripple is basically providing. And that's something which is quite unique in the software industry, and only by basically following this layered approach all this has been possible. The vision of Ripple's network is basically to be the center of everything. This plumbing and everything else can connect. And now let's look at the most important slide here on this slide deck. This is basically the proof that my theory that Ripple is going after the superhighway by connecting with gateway providers and system integrators. And I want to repeat, this paper was most likely older than 2014, because it was the strategy 2014, and their first and foremost priority was get value on Ripple via gateways. And that's basically exactly what I'm telling for months now, that they're making sure that their lower level plumbing software is integrated via system integrator software in those topper level, or in the gateway software from companies like Temenos, like CGI, like Task Group. The local is kind of more a logical gateway provider. They may use one of these products from Temenos, CGI, whatever. It's kind of a company acting as a gateway between these different payment, let's say, infrastructures. There's others like that as well. Blue Cell, I think, is another one of these gateway providers. And yeah, for me, case closed. That was basically the only open or loose end on my theory. It was, as I always have said, a theory. But now when I basically see in their strategy slide deck that it really was like that they were going after the gateways, this for me now is proof enough that for sure more than 100 banks are already connected to RippleNet. And by the way, we are not just, and Ripple is even more intelligent. This I think I also have to tell. In IT, there are so many ways how to make connections from different systems. And in Japan, for the consortium led by SBI Holding, for these 60 plus Japanese banks, what Ripple has been providing is they have been providing their plumbing via a cloud solution, where each of these banks can just kind of call in, make their calls and get the results back. Really clever. That way, not one of these banks using that technology needed to actually build into their existing system any of the software, because they just needed to open those communication channels. And with that, I wish you a happy weekend and enjoy your time being.